Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you are well. I am also well by the grace of Almighty Allah. You know, we passed Idul Adha a few days back, and I hope you have passed your time with great enjoyment, sharing your joys and happiness with your family members, with your relatives, neighbors, and friends. You know, Idul Adha is an occasion of animal sacrifice. We have sacrificed animals. May Allah grant our sacrifice and save us from the great pandemic of COVID-19 that we are experiencing. Today, after passing the vacation of Idul Adha, I am here to take a class for class 9. I am taking a class on English first paper. So, dear students, get ready. At first, I would like to welcome you to my class. I am SM Moniruzzaman, Assistant Teacher, English, Jashore Zilla School, Jashore. Dear students, look at the picture. What do you see in the picture? There are two pictures here. In the first picture, we can see the river bank, which is being eroded. There are many trees, houses, and they are also being destroyed due to river erosion. And in the second picture, we can see a beautiful building, and the building has also been collapsed due to river erosion. When and where do we see such scene in Bangladesh? When do we see such scene? Usually we see such scenes in rainy season. When it rains heavily, our rivers cannot carry all the water due to riverbed siltation, and then the river banks overflows, and we see river erosion then. And where do we see such scene in Bangladesh? We can see such scenes along the river banks of the mighty rivers like the Padma, the Meghna, and the Jamuna. Every year, many villages, many areas lying across the river bank are facing the threat of river erosion. So today we are going to learn about the greed of the roaring rivers. So our today's lesson is the greed of roaring rivers. So dear students, open your text at Unit 5, Lesson 1. Before going through the text, I would like to discuss the theme of the text to you. In the text, we can see the victim of river erosion, a victim of river erosion, and her name is Meherjan. Meherjan is a victim of river erosion. Meherjan lives in a slum. Now Meherjan lives in a slum, and the slum is situated on the bank of Jamuna. His slum is on the embankment, of Shirazganj Town Protection Embankment, and her polythene roofed shelter looks like a cage. She lives in it, and she is trying to make fire to cook the day's only meal, but she is very much weak. Poverty and malnutrition have made her weak. She is very weak, so her weak hand trembles as she adds some fallen leaves and a straw to the fire. And the whispering wind coming from the river Jamuna makes the fire unsteady, and this dancing flame reminds Meherjan of the turmoil of her life. Once Meherjan had everything: a happy family, cultivable land and cattle. But with the passage of time, she lost them. She lost all the family members to the disease that was brought by hunger and poverty. And now she is left alone to live with the loss and pain. And there are thousands of more Moniruzzaman waiting to share the same fate. If we fail to adapt with the climate change, there will be more Moniruzzamans in our cities and towns. In an statistics, it is shown that nearly 1 lakh people lose their houses every year and they become homeless. So we have to take prompt action to adapt with this situation, and this is the result of global climate change. We, the people, are destroying our environment. We are cutting down our trees recklessly. We are using fossil fuels and they are producing huge amount of carbon dioxide. As a result, the level of carbon dioxide is increasing in the atmosphere and global warming is increasing. As a result, we have to face many natural calamities every year. River erosion is one such problem that we have to face every year. So we have to take prompt action to stop this. We have to take prompt action to adapt with the sense. Dear students, now we will go through the text. But before going through the text, I would like to introduce you with some new words, that is new vocabularies. The first one is embankment. What is the meaning of embankment? Dear students, here is a picture for you. Look at the picture and try to guess the meaning of the word embankment. What is the meaning of embankment? Here you can see a dam or a wall of mud or earth which is made to protect water, to prevent water from entering into locality. So the word embankment means dam or barrage. Dam or barrage. And next on erosion. What is the meaning of the word erosion? Look at the picture. Here is another picture for you, dear students. You have to guess the meaning of the word erosion seeing the picture. Here we can see river banks is being eroded, is being decayed. So what is the meaning of the word erosion? Erosion means process of being eroded. Process of being eroded. Next on cultivable. What is the meaning of the word cultivable? Look at the picture. Here we can see a man, a farmer, who is plowing his field. His field is fit for cultivation, is fit for plowing. So he is cultivating his field. So the word cultivable means arable, fit for cultivation or plowable. Next on overflow. What is the meaning of the word overflow? Overflow means, here in the picture we can see the water is overflowing the bank of a river. And what is the cause of overflowing water? We know. Most of the river bed are being silted in Bangladesh. Our rivers cannot carry water during rainy season. So when the water level rises up, it overflows the bank. And here in this picture we can see water is overflowing the bank. So the word overflow means deluge or flood. deluge or flood, and the water is submerging, inundating the nearby area of the river. Next on shelter. What is the meaning of shelter? Look at the picture. In the picture we can see many houses where people dwell, where people live in. So the word shelter means house. Shelter means house, dwelling place, living place. Okay, dear students, now here is an activity for you. You have to make sentences using the following words. The first one, embankment. Second one, erosion. Next, cultivable, overflow, shelter. There are 5 words here. You have to write 5 sentences using these 5 words. Okay, try yourself at home, and I think you are quite capable of writing sentences using these words, and you have to use your own words to write sentences. Okay, dear students, now we are going to start reading the text. You have to follow me, and you have to follow the text very carefully. After reading the text, there are some activities, and you will get all the necessary information to do that activities here in this text. So I will read the text, and you will follow me very carefully. Now I am starting reading the text. Meherzan lives in a slum on the Shirazganj town protection embankment. Her polythene roofed shelter looks like a cage. She is nearly 45 but looks more than her age. In front of her shelter, she is trying to make fire to cook the day's only meal. Her weak hand trembles as she adds some fallen leaves and straw to the fire. The whispering wind from the river Jamuna makes the fire unsteady. The dancing of the flames reminds Meherzan of the turmoil in her life. So, dear students, from the very first para, we have come to know that the text is about a woman named Meherzan. She is a victim of river erosion. Once Meherzan had a happy family. She had her husband, her son and daughter, that is, there are many family members in her family. And she passed her days happily, but losing all of them, Meherzan now lives in a slum on the Shirazganj town protection embankment, and the roof of her shelter is made of polythene. His shelter looks like a cage. She is now very poor. She can't manage her meals properly. She takes a meal a day, and she has become very much weak. And when she tries to add some fallen leaves, when she tries to add fuel to the fire, her weak hand trembles. And she is 45 years old, but poverty, malnutrition and deprivation makes her older, looks her older than her real age. And the wind coming from the river Jamuna, the whispering wind that comes from river Jamuna makes the fire unsteady. And this dancing flame reminds Meherzan of the ups and downs of her life. Next para. Not long ago, Meherzan had everything: a family, cultivable land and cattle. So, from the text, we have come to know that Meherzan had everything. She belonged to a rich family. She belonged to a rich family. She had everything: cultivable land, cattle. The erosion of the Jamuna consumed all her landed property gradually. It finally claimed her only shelter during the last monsoon. It took the river only a day to demolish Meher's house, trees, vegetable garden and the bamboo bush. She had a happy family once. Over the years, she lost her husband and family to the diseases that cruel hunger and poverty brought to the family. Now, she is the only one to live on with the loss and the pain. The greedy Jamuna has shattered her dreams and happiness. In the second para, from the second para, we have come to know that losing everything, Meherjan is left alone to live with the loss and pain. She is now alone. There is none to look after her. And so she can't manage even her daily foods. Next para. There are 1,000 others to share the same fate like Meherjan. Bangladesh is a land of rivers that affect its people. Erosion is a harsh reality for the people living along the river banks. During each monsoon, many more villages are threatened by the roaring rivers like the Jamuna, the Padma and the Meghna. It is estimated that every year in Bangladesh, at least 1 lakh people become homeless. In fact, river erosion is one of the main dangers caused by climate change. If we can't take prompt actions to adapt to climate change, there will be thousands of more Meherjans in our towns and villages every year. So dear students, it is quite clear to us that river erosion is a natural calamity, and this natural calamity is caused by global climate change, and global climate change is caused by human being. We are solely responsible for global climate change. We are endangering our environment. As a result, climate is changing, and we have to face different kinds of natural disasters every year, such as cyclone, drought, river erosion, etc. So, we have to take prompt action to stop these. In an statistic, it is shown that nearly 1 lakh people lost their homes every year only in Bangladesh. So, if we fail to take prompt action to adapt with this situation, there will be thousands of more Meherjans in our towns and cities. There will be more people who have lost their homes in our cities. Then it will go out of control for us. For a country like Bangladesh, we are a developing country. If every year about 1 lakh people lost their houses due to river erosion, it will be very much difficult for us to cope with the situation. So we have to take prompt action to adapt with this sense. Now, dear students, here is an activity for you. You have to choose the closest meaning of the phrase that is given above. In the question, you will get a phrase, and the meaning of the phrase is given below. There are 4 options. One option contains the closest meaning of the phrase. You have to choose which one indicates the closest meaning. The first one, in paragraph 3, roaring rivers mean. The first phrase is roaring rivers. What is the meaning of roaring rivers? Its meaning is given below. And there are 4 options. you have to choose which option indicates the closest meaning of the phrase roaring rivers. Dear students, roaring rivers mean river that flow strongly making oil sound, rivers having many rowing boats in them, rivers that make people cry out, rivers that have noisy fishes. Which one is the correct answer? You have to write the correct answer in your writing pad and try yourself. I think you have completed it. Now match the answer with the answer which I am giving now. Here right answer is option A, rivers that flow strongly making oil sound. So the meaning of the phrase roaring rivers mean rivers that flow strongly making oil sound. Next on landed property. What is the meaning of the phrase landed property? And here we can also see 4 options. Which option contains the closest meaning of the phrase landed property? Dear students, write down the meaning of the landed property in your writing pad. And now match the answer. Here correct answer is option C, property in the form of a source of income to its owner. Landed property means property in the form of a source of income to its owner. Next, whispering wind. What is the meaning of the phrase whispering wind? Wind that blows from across the river, wind that blows with a hissing sound, wind that helps someone make a fire, wind that blows in summer. Which one is the correct answer? Dear students, try to find out the correct answer and write it down in your writing pad. Now match the answer. Here right answer is option B, wind that blows with a hissing sound. Whispering wind means wind that blows with a hissing sound. Next, what is the meaning of the phrase dancing of the flame? Dancing of the flame, a traditional form of folk song, a flame that makes people dance around it, a flame that is made unstable by the blast of air, a flame made by people to remember their past. Which one is the closest meaning of the phrase dancing of the flame? Dear students, try yourself and I think you will be able to write the correct answer. And now match the answer. Here the correct answer is option C, a flame that is made unstable by the blast of air. So dancing of the flame means a flame that is made unstable by the blast of air. Okay, dear students, now you have to write answer of some questions. The first on, what does Moniruzzaman use to make fire for cooking her meals? What does Moniruzzaman use to make fire? Try yourself. We have already read it in the text. What does Moniruzzaman use? I think you will be able to write the answers and you may take help from the text. Now, for your better understanding, to make it easy for you, now I am providing the answer. Moniruzzaman uses dry leaves and straw. Moniruzzaman uses dry leaves and straw as fuel to make fire for cooking meals. Okay, I think you will be able to write the answer. Next on. What property did Meherjan lose due to river erosion? What property did she lose? Dear students, try yourself and try to remember what properties did Meherjan lose. Yes, I think you can remember it. From reading the text, we have come to know that Meherjan had lost her all landed property, her house, trees, cultivable land, cattle, bamboo bush, vegetable garden. These are the properties that Meherjan lost due to river erosion. Okay, next on. What do you know about Meherjan's family? What do we know about Meherjan's family? From reading the text, we have get a clear conception about Meherjan's family. We have come to know that once Meherjan had a happy family. She had her husband, she had other family members. But with the passage of time, she lost them. She lost them all. Her husband and other members of her family died because of diseases which was brought by cruel hunger and poverty to the family. Next on. In which season does the river erosion most likely occur? In which season? In Bangladesh, we see that river erosion most likely occurs in rainy season, when it rains in torrents. When it rains heavily, the rivers cannot carry all the water at a time, because most of the rivers have been silted up, and for this riverbed siltation, the river lost its capacity of carrying water. So, in rainy season, the bank of the rivers overflows because of excessive rainwater, and then river erosion occurs. Okay, next on. Why is the phrase greedy Jamuna used to describe the river? Here the term greedy is used because the river Jamuna grasped all the landed property, all the houses, trees, everything along the river bank, just like a greedy person during rainy season. So here the term greedy Jamuna is used to describe river Jamuna. Now here is another activity for you, gap filling activity, and this gap filling activity is given in two parts. In the first slide I have given 5 gaps and 5 clues are given in the above box, and in the next slide we will get another 5 gaps and the clues are also given in the above of that slide. Dear students, this activity is taken from section D of your text. Look at the section D of your text. Here you can see a gap filling activity. Now I am reading the clues. The first one, victims. Second one, homeless. Third, slum dweller. Next, shortage of food. And last one, due to. There are some words and some phrases. You have to choose the right one to fill in the blank. Okay, now I am reading the text. Meherjan is a typical dash woman who lives in a slum. She lost her shelter and properties dash the erosion of river Jamuna. She lost all her family members to the diseases caused by poverty and dash. Now she is only a dash. Like Meherjan, there are many people who have become the dash of river erosion. Dear students, try your best to fill in the blanks using the appropriate word from the above box. And I think you have completed it. Now match the answer. The first one, Meherzan is a typical homeless woman who lives in a slum. So the answer for gap on is homeless. Next one, she lost her shelter and properties due to the erosion of river Jamuna. Here the right answer is due to. She lost all her family members to the diseases caused by poverty and dash and shortage of food. Here the right answer is shortage of food. Now she is only a dash. Here slum dweller is right answer. She is only a slum dweller. Like Meherzan, there are many people who have become the dash of river erosion. Here the right answer is victims. Like Meherzan, there are many people who have become the victims of river erosion. Now we are going to the next slide. Here we have also 5 gaps and 5 clues are given in the above box. We have to choose, we have to find out, we have to use the right word at right gaps. Okay, river erosion is still posing dash to the lives and properties of thousands of people. River erosion is still posing dash to the lives and properties of thousands of people. People living dash the rivers are the most likely victims of river erosion. Each year, about dash people become homeless due to river erosion in Bangladesh. Meherzan's life is just on dash of how climate change dash the lives of thousands of people. Now, dear students, try yourself to write the answer to fill in the blanks. Here, I have already given the answer of the first gap. River erosion is still posing threats. Here, the answer is threat to the lives and properties of thousands of people. People living dash the rivers. Here, right answer is close to. People living close to the rivers are the most likely victims of river erosion. Each year, about dash people, about 1 lakh people. Each year, about 1 lakh people become homeless due to river erosion in Bangladesh. Next, Meherzan's life is just on dash. Is just on example. Here, right answer is example. Meherzan's life is just on example of how climate change dash the lives of thousands of people. Here right answer is affects. How climate change affects the lives of thousands of people. Dear students, I think you have written the correct answer of these 10 gaps. Now, I have come towards the end of my class. I would like to give you a homework. Now, dear students, write down your homework. Today, you have to write 5 sentences mentioning the loss of Meherzan caused by river erosion. You have to write 5 sentences mentioning the loss of Meherzan caused by river erosion. So, dear students, thank you for attending my class. Thank you.